Hey, yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Moviegoers live show. This is episode 27. This show is still going to be the same, but now I'm going to be doing it every single Monday now because I wanted to have a little bit more of a plan for this one. So that was actually one of my little resolutions for this year, surprisingly enough, was to actually have a plan for this show. And I finally do. So we're back in the swing. And tonight's guest is a brand new face of the channel. You've seen him in the chat before, but he hasn't been on the channel yet. And I wanted to use this show as a good way to bring him onto the channel. So welcome to the channel, Dell, aka Dell on Movies. What is up, Dell? Happy to see you, man.
What's going on, Luke? Doing all right. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and I'm very happy to have you here because you and I have kind of talked a little bit, but we haven't really, got actually collabed. I think we only collabed like one time.
We might have been on somebody else's stream, I think. Yeah.
If my memory serves me correct, either it was Mega Mike the Movie Man or it was Derek of Convicted Cinephile. It had to be one of those two.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Mike.
I think that was probably it. But again, my memory is not serving me correct just for this evening, so. But we're gonna keep us afloat. We're gonna move we're just gonna move ahead like it's just another day. But yeah, how's it going tonight, my man?
It's going pretty good, man. It's time to talk some movies, so I'm excited.
Yeah. So, yep. So I'm again very happy to have you here. If you guys haven't already, go check out Dell's channel. He is a great guy. Go check him out. He deserves the love. And why not subscribe to me as well, because we're nearing the end to 600 subscribers. So let's see if we can get there either before the summer or before the end of the year. Let's make it happen. Tap on that thumbs up as well, because that'll help out.
So let's get you to 600 before the summer and 7 by the end of the year. How's that?
Oh, okay. I like that. All right, let's see. Got a couple people in the chat. We got Ethan says Oppenheimer won 5 Golden Globes last night. Yes, it did. And I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
But the Iron Claw did not get any recognition, and Past Lives got zip.
I haven't seen either one of those. I need to see them both, Past Lives and Iron Claw. So I need to check those out. I did see Oppenheimer. Excellent movie.
Amazing. That was the Best Picture winner for the drama category, but hold on. Oh yeah, Barbie was the winner for musical or comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people will not agree. Well, I know some people will agree with me. I would have given that category to The Holdovers.
I haven't seen The Holdovers, so I can't say. I did really enjoy Barbie, so I wasn't mad with the win.
I mean, I'm not mad about it either, because I still think it's a really good movie, just kind of overrated, if I'm going to be honest. But I would have given it to something like The Holdovers, because I don't think it's because I think that's a much better movie and a much and a film I could actually watch more often. So but that's just me.
Hopefully I'll get to see it shortly here, before the Oscars at least.
It is on Peacock now, so there you go.
Okay.
But also it's out physically now for anybody that's wanting to help keep physical media alive. So, and also please do so. Wilkie's Movies and Music. What's up, Wilkie?
Corey, what's going on?
Let's see. Also got Lance Jackson. What's going on, Lance? Says, what's up, Luke? Just woke up from a nap thinking about taking off tomorrow. Interesting. But Spicy 4K Action is also in the building. Fellow supporter of the channel. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, the Golden, as Ethan pointed out, the Golden Globes happened last night. There were some interesting wins.
Mm-hmm.
At least some of my picks for certain categories did win. Divine Joy Randolph won for The Holdovers. Same thing with Paul Giamatti. Lily Gladstone won for Killers of the Flower Moon. Thank all things holy, she won, because she deserves it. Cillian Murphy won for Oppenheimer. and Emma Stone won for Poor Things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Poor Things, so I can't speak on that. I've heard it
Yeah.
was.
Me neither.
I heard it's fucked up. Though
Yeah, I've heard some polarizing things. Or some people really love it, and then other people were like, it's just too much. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
but I mean, I'm not like no stranger to this kind of thing, but it's like I heard there was a lot of sex in that movie, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm like I've seen Basic Instinct, so I'm like I kind of know how it's gonna go.
It's weird. See, I'm a lot older than you, Luke, and it's the pendulum has swung the other way. Back when I was a lot younger, if you didn't have a rated R movie, there wasn't sex in it. There was always sex in the movies, and then gradually over time, now it's like rare that we get sex in movies, and it's like when we see it, like, oh my god, this is too much. Do we need it? Da, da, da. So
it's kind of just few and far between for what it is. I mean, but I'm not gonna complain because it's like that's not because a lot of people are kind of like put off by that kind of thing, which I get why, but at the same time, it's like okay, but it's like we could use a little more. Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah. I'm like, if the story calls for it, then you do what the story calls for. Um, uh, there's a lot of stories for adults that are out there that would probably have to include some sex. It's not like I'm advocating, okay, let's all go full blown Pornhub with the thing, but there are stories that involve sex, so let's not be all too prudish about it. But at the same time, don't be gratuitous and just stick it in everywhere either.
Exactly, because if you stick it in everywhere, you're just gonna turn off your audience like immediately, even after like the first two.
Right, right.
So, but also the reason why I would understand like why also for Poor Things is because it's a pretty long movie, clocking in about 2 hours 20.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I get that.
So I got a question for you then. In this time, in this climate, is 2 hours 20 and long? Because it seems like every movie in the theaters is 2.5 hours now.
Kind of, but at the same time, not really. It mostly depends on how you pace it. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I mostly would say it's depending on how it's paced because I think Napoleon, like something like Napoleon, was 2.5 hours, and that felt really slow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Oppenheimer was 3 hours, but it literally felt like 2 hours to me. Like
Yeah.
it flew
It went
by.
by pretty quick. It breezed by. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Now I haven't seen it at home yet. Oppenheimer. I've seen it and in IMAX and in the theater. Yeah, that 3 hours goes quick. I'm curious when I watch it at home if it's gonna do the same.
I kind of hope it does the same though, because I've not watched it since theaters either.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Across the Spider-Verse was 2 hours 20. I know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty excessive for an animated movie, in my opinion. I think it's a little excessive.
It was, but that was another one where it just felt like it flew by for me. But then at the same time, The Little Mermaid was in that same ballpark, and that felt so long. I felt like I was in the theater forever.
I'm trying to think of another one that I felt like it was. Well, if you want to talk about movies that are like only an hour and a half, that felt like they took an eternity just to be finished, because that's like I find the perfect spot, and it's like okay, cut the movie, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's just like, nope, we're gonna keep going, motherfuckers. It's like, ugh. Was actually the most recent film I saw, which is Night Swim.
Okay.
That film felt so long. Like,
oh, that's not good. I haven't seen it yet, man. That's I was looking forward to that one.
But I think you probably should be warned. It's a January release, so
yeah. But every now and again they get a good one.
I mean, last year's January was actually pretty good. We had films like Megan, we had A Man Called Otto, Missing, Plane, films like that. Mm-hmm. But then we get films like House Party and Fear. We get those films, and it's like,
those are pretty bad. Missing
Fear
was really good.
Though. Like Fear, it feels like someone it feels like someone smeared shit on a lens. That's what it looks like because you can't see shit.
You know what? Now going back to The Little Mermaid, it didn't look like that, but it looked like they purposely. Well, I know that they purposely made it dark, supposed to be natural lighting, in the Little Mermaid, the big battle scene at the end. It's nighttime, and I'm in the theater, and Melissa McCarthy, her face, you can see the outline of her face. It's like taking up 3/4 of the screen, but it's so dark I can't make out any details. This whole battle is going on, and I can't see anything. And I get it, cinematographers like, well, this is our style now. We're just trying to use what light would naturally be there during this time. All right, I'm all into art, being artistic and all, but you want your audience to see the movie. And
Exactly.
the whole last battle was just almost just like a big black screen with an occasional flash of lightning, and the battle was over in like 30 seconds. It seemed. I was like, oh my god, y'all ruined the what could have been the saving grace for the film.
I get that, but I was gonna say, if you want to talk about films where you really cannot see shit with lighting, is Blood and Honey. You cannot see anything.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. But at least I can blame that one on budget and amateur filmmakers. I can do that. With Little Mermaid, there was no excuse.
Yeah, low budget amateur filmmakers that are kind of assholes because they came at people for not liking their movie. Grow up.
Oh, I didn't know that. They really.
Cody Leach prefaced that in his video for not only his February ranking but also his worst of the year list. He talked about some of the experiences he had about some people coming at him for not liking that movie, claiming him to be public enemy number one of independent horror. And I'm like, really? Dumbasses? Like, and also people are trying to rub it in their face like their film is so good. It's like, it's on pretty much every single worst of the year list you've seen.
Yeah.
So it's on my worst of the list here too.
But
so there you go.
Yeah, they made enough money that they're going to do another one. So I guess that's what it counts for them.
Well, good for them. So yeah, I was going to say that. Good for them. Oh, here we go. I got a question from Spicy 4K Action. It says, Dell, do you have any most anticipated movies for 2024?
Ooh, I gotta figure out what's coming out in 2024. It's everything keeps getting pushed back and postponed.
I can tell you that there's one this weekend I'm looking forward to, which is The Beekeeper.
Yeah, that looks interesting. And my worry though is the same thing you just talked about. We're talking January release though.
But Plane was also an action movie from last year that was released in January, but that was actually a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe The Beekeeper might be the same because I've actually heard some good things about it so far.
Yeah, I have, and when I watched the trailer, it's giving me all the Kingsman vibe, and I know the people involved were heavily involved with the Kingsman, so, and I do really like that series, except for the last one I didn't care for though. I'm kind of looking over a list while we talk, and I see we got a remake of Roadhouse coming with Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know what to think about that. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that. It's interesting. Sounds interesting. I'm also curious about Civil War. I did hear about that one.
Alex Garland, that looks really good. Love Lies Bleeding is one I'm also really interested in. The new film from Rose Glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Furiosa. Furiosa is probably the biggest one I'm looking forward to.
Oh yes, I really am looking forward to Furiosa. But let's see.
I'm so curious about that one. Oh,
Laren is in the chat. What's up, Laren?
What's going on, Laren? Yeah, Quiet Place Day One. That's another one. Yeah,
that seems interesting. It's from the same director as Pig.
Yep, and Pig was good.
Yeah, Pig was really good. Let's see, Deadpool 3. I mean, I'm obviously looking forward to Deadpool 3.
So, do you think they're gonna? How do you think it's gonna turn out? Because I'm like so worried about that movie because it's in Disney hands.
Well, at least it's gonna be rated R. Like I could just say that it's gonna be rated R.
But, yeah.
Like that's. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, definitely hoping for the best. because I really want that franchise, if it's gonna be the last one, for it to go out with a bang.
For sure. And also, what's going on, View with Drew? How's it going, my man?
Hey, Drew.
MVP, by the way. And Jared Runner is also in the building. My good man. What's up, Jared?
Hey, Jared.
All right, so I'll go ahead and get to my first question. I always like to go like ask this one because I always get different answers from a lot of people because this is the one I always like. Again, this is like I said, this is the one I like to ask the most. What is your worst movie theater experience that you can remember?
My worst. Okay. I would say one of the. Well, it's hard. It's talking a lot of years of movie experiences. I don't know if I have a worst, but I'll give you one that was kind of distracting, kind of hard to sit through.
All right.
And I will talk about this because I do a series on my channel about talking about times when I've gone to the theater, and it's The Dark Knight Rises. And how I feel about the movie aside, it so happened that it was the week after. It wasn't opening weekend. It was the second weekend. And I took my family with us. And if anyone's not familiar, the first weekend was when there was a shooting in the theater showing The Dark Knight Rises in Colorado. So we go there, and at that time my girls were really young, and they were like 10 and 8.
All right.
My son was a little bit older, but they had heard the news because people talk. They had heard the news, so this was the only time this ever happened in a theater. They sat there for the whole 2.5 hours, both of them on either side of me, and they're like clinging to me. And then even me, it's like as the theater is as the movie's playing, anytime somebody is coming into the theater or leaving the theater, you just kind of get stopped and look and trying to make sure that they're not doing anything weird. And we're on the other side of the country. I'm in North Carolina, but it was still, just in your mind that, something crazy could happen right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the thing for me because it's like, but you honestly want to know the most annoying part about you want to know the most annoying part about some audience members in movie theaters?
Mm-hmm.
Some audience members walk in just as the movie starts, and I'm like, you should have just came in ahead of time, for crying out loud. Because one thing about me when it comes to going to the movie theater, I'm always there early. I always have to get there early. Because if I'm there late, then I probably miss either probably a good opening scene, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's hard to be late to a movie these days because most of the time the movie doesn't even start for 25-30 minutes till after the posted time because of the trailers. So you got to be kind of trying to be late for a movie these days.
But since I have a theater that only shows 3 trailers, so it's I don't really have a problem. I don't have a problem with that at all. So that's the reason why I try to get there early.
Okay. I'm an AMC member. Those trailers go forever.
I went to a Cinemark before, but those have 6 to 8 trailers at least.
Yeah, that's what AMC does. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
so if your show time is 3:00, you can guarantee it's going to be 3:25 at least before the movie starts.
That's right. Because I was going to say, when I went and saw Five Nights at Freddy's,
mm-hmm.
guess how early I had to get there because of seating.
What, about 20 minutes or so, or earlier than that?
Half an hour early.
Half an hour early. So your theater not do assigned seating?
Well, we do assigned seating. It's just since because there was a lot of seats taken by the time that I checked for tickets, a lot of them were taken. So I ordered mine, and I text my buddy Justin to order his, so that way we can actually have our seats right away. Because otherwise, because by the time we got there, by the time we got to the theater, there was a sheet on the door. It's literally said showtimes for Five Nights at Freddy's 7:15 p.m., 9:35 p.m. sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. They were sold out showings for that, like just for that one night.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, it was really popular opening weekend. It did a lot, so I get it.
$80 million, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if I had to speak on my worst theater experience, I'm going to be completely honest. It didn't help that the movie was terrible anyway, which is Firestarter.
Oh, you went to see that in theaters? Wow.
I did, yeah. Plus, it was the second. It was the second week that my theater was open. So
Yeah, because that came out COVID. I know. I watched it at home. So
yeah, it was bad. But there was like a group of students that was like sitting in the back row. They would not shut up. I think even a couple of them even got escorted out of the theater for good measures. So whoever did that, if they're watching this video, shout out to you, because you're a good person for that.
Well, go ahead, finish it. I'll jump in later.
Okay. Yeah, but then there's this guy in front of me, like directly a row in front of me. It was during the third act of the film. He starts going on his phone and starts texting, and I'm like, motherfucker.
We gotta love those, right?
Yeah, but thankfully I haven't had any like really bad ones except for I think it's probably Avatar: The Way of Water and The Little Mermaid. I had bad theater experiences.
Okay. I would say recently when I went to see Godzilla -1, it cleared up in the first 10 minutes of the movie, but the first 10 minutes was kind of screwed. You know, we had some teenagers that were kind of running in and out the theater. And I don't know why, but they would come in, they would go all the way up to the top, and you hear a bunch of giggling, then they'd run out, and they did it like 3 times, and finally security kicked them all out. And then about around the same time, maybe a little bit later, a bunch of people just kind of walked out because they didn't realize the movie was in Japanese. I don't want to read this, and just left out the theater.
Funny enough, now that you mentioned that, when I saw Dumb Money, there was these 2 old ladies that were sitting in my row because I saw it with my mom, and they were sitting in the same row as us. Last 30 minutes, they walked out. I just found that so funny, like, because there not only is there a lot of cursing in the film, there's also it's pretty vulgar for the most part, as a movie, and it's like they thought it was going to get better from there, but then apparently it didn't, so they walked out.
Now, I had people walking out of the theater when I went to see Sorry to Bother You. I don't know if you know that movie.
Oh, I do.
Okay. And it was, about halfway through the movie and things, because it's already a strange movie, but then when things really get cranked up, people just started bailing out of the theater. It's like, they're like, nope, I don't want any of this. And it was funny because even before that, because it's a comedy technically, and I'm like one of the only people in the theater that's getting the jokes, so I'm laughing and people are just all silent, dead silent, and sitting on their hands almost. It was weird.
That's very interesting, might I say, because a lot of the times whenever sometimes like whenever the audience laughs, obviously I don't join in because some of the times I don't find that shit funny. The example was with the foreign language people in Fast 9, like when they find out that that Ludacris and Tyrese are in space.
Right.
They started laughing, and I was just like, how do you people find this funny? This isn't funny. Like,
so
again,
yeah, for me, I go to the Fast movies to see how stupid they can get. So when they were gonna go in space, I was like, oh, here we go, let's do it, because I just want to see how outrageous and stupid they go. I know they're bad, and I enjoy them because they're bad. But I get where you're coming from, because you can very easily be like, oh no, this is just terrible. Because I'm that way with Transformers movies. People love those movies, and I can't stand them.
Totally fair. Let's see. Tiana's in the chat. How's it going, Tiana? Thank you so much. Were you guys surprised that Oppenheimer won more awards than Barbie at the Golden Globes last night? No, because
No.
I was at Poppenheimer. Oppenheimer is a much better movie, and plus, we already knew from the get-go that it was going to get a lot of accolades.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a better movie, and not for nothing. I mean, it's a more awardsy kind of movie too.
That's true. Judd's in the chat. How's it going, Judd? Thank you so much for being here. I hate teenage kids in theaters. They're the worst. Yeah, I can speak on that from experience. So
yeah,
but let's see. Yeah, but I always like to go with that question because it's like because sometimes I like to hear like whenever people have not only a bad theater experience but also kind of the story about that because it just interests me.
Yeah, that's cool. I hope my story was okay.
It's all good, man. So let's see this next one. If you could rewatch a film for the first time again, what would you pick?
Oh, that's tough. If I could rewatch a film for the very first time, it's easy to just go with, whatever your favorite movie is with that question. But I don't know if I want to really be in that mind frame for my favorite movie. So I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with The Matrix.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with The Matrix. Because I remember the feeling of being in the theater and seeing some of those special effects, especially right off the bat with Trinity, the whole jump and the camera rotates around her. Right then it was like, oh, okay, we're in for something different. So I'll go with The Matrix. That would be one I would love to see again for the first time and just experience, basically watershed moments in special effects, really.
Yeah, and that's a good one. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's a good one. The Matrix. It's what made sci-fi films. It's what made sci-fi films a lot more bigger than they usually were. So, yeah, thank that film for that. I think for me, I'm gonna kind of go a little bit outside the box here. I think I'm gonna go with Black Christmas, the original.
Okay.
Because I will never forget the first time I watched that movie. It was it was such an interesting experience for me, yet it not only did it make me feel dirty, it made me feel uncomfortable. Like,
what? Now you're making me change my answer now, actually. But go ahead and finish. I'll tell you what I'm actually changing it to.
Yeah, Black Christmas, the original. I should clarify, it's the original Black Christmas.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good. Besides the point, yeah, the original Black Christmas, directed by Bob Clark, who later on obviously directed A Christmas Story.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys like how that changes. Yeah, this film made me feel really dirty inside, and it made me feel really uncomfortable with the film's subject matter and the way they were depicting it. Mm-hmm. But also the kills that you see off screen. Oh God, like I couldn't even imagine how it would actually pan out. Like, and then I've rewatched it once since. That film is so underappreciated. Like,
I've only seen it once, and it was not this past Christmas, but the one before. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I think I need to go back and rewatch it.
It's not for everybody. Like I'll just get that clear. It's not for everybody.
Yeah,
but it still is not. That's not saying it's like, oh yeah, not everybody can watch. I mean, everyone can watch it, but that's to decide it whether it's for you or not.
Right, right.
So, yeah, and yeah, I love that original Black Christmas. I think that would be the one. Like, and I do agree with this comment from some people. A lot of the credit that Halloween gets, Black Christmas deserves because that was kind of the one to kind of kick off the slasher genre.
I can see that, yeah.
So, But you said you had a different answer for that one. So
Yeah, I have a different answer now because I totally forgot about this. But The Exorcist, because
oh yes,
I would love to have been in the theater watching everybody just lose their shit. Because if anybody in the chat doesn't know about the in theater experience for The Exorcist back in the day, people were literally leaving out the theater because they thought it was really evil, and they were holding prayer vigils in the hall, and some people were just vomiting all over the place. And it's no, watch it. I know there's a couple of documentaries about The Exorcist. Watch one and see how people were just acting. I mean, there's little footage of people just holding big prayer vigils in the hall because they were so scared in the lobby of the theater.
yeah, and also true story about this. There was this one person that actually died of a heart attack because of how scary the movie was. Like it actually scared a person to death.
Yeah, I heard that. Yes, that's nuts.
I know that's nuts, but that also kind of signifies how good The Exorcist is. Like, oh god, like I think I watched that film way too young. Like,
oh, we all did.
Because I think the first time I watched The Exorcist was when I was like about 11. Oh my god, dude! I had nightmares for weeks.
Same, but I was even younger. I was about 8.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I was scarred.
That movie scarred me, dude. But case in point, though, that's what made the film so great and kind of expanded, obviously, to more people. Like,
yeah. Even if something has that effect on when something has that effect on people, and everybody else wants to see why, what's going on over there? Why are you guys all freaking out over there? And then they get in the theater and it's like, oh, okay, now I see why you're freaking out. And then they tell more people, and it becomes a classic that it is.
Shut up, Steven. Says, damn, Luke, I don't want to be scared to death for a movie to be good in your book, you sick bastard. But that's a true story, though. And plus, that's not really what makes that film so good. It's the family drama aspect is the best part about that entire movie. Like, and also, which is why even when I rewatch the original Exorcist, it makes me hate Believer even more. Because they tarnished the legacy and they made Ellen Burstyn the terrible mother when she was like clearly a good mother in the original Exorcist. And the third act is one of the worst third acts I've ever seen in my life. Like, because you have so many people of different religious kinds in one room with these two girls.
Yeah, that was where you take an inclusion too far. Because I mean, they really were trying to cram every religion into this room just for this exorcist, which is silly.
And it wasn't even an exorcism because the priest that was supposed to perform the exorcism was killed.
Right.
And but I also want to preface this: how many people were in the room in the same room that Reagan was in the original movie?
Yeah, it was the two priests. Yeah, that was it. Mom was always outside.
Okay, disregard the balloons, by the way. There was two priests in one room throwing holy water on her, saying that the power of Christ compels you.
Yep.
And I'm like, seriously, like I don't know why.
Yeah, they try to do too much, and I've always maintained that if you take out all the OG Exorcist people from Believer and just tell your own story, then it would be okay. It'd be an okay movie. It wouldn't be great, not at all. But shoehorning in Ellen Burstyn and then later on, Linda Blair. Sorry if I'm spoiling it for anybody, but
I don't think anybody cares at this point.
Yeah, so shoehorning them in just to say, hey, look who's in our movie is just silly and doesn't serve the story that you're telling at all. And yeah, I'm with you on the whole point about the exorcism itself. There's just too many people in the room. It's just way too much.
Just having those two priests in the one room was good enough. Because, oh boy, honestly, by that point, I was just ready to be like, you know what? I could just leave right now, and then I wouldn't even miss a damn thing.
Oh yeah, well, you knew it was gonna happen. So yeah.
but I stuck through it. And again, it made me hate the movie even more. So it's terrible.
Have you ever walked out of a movie?
No, never have.
Me neither.
I've gotten close to at points. There's movies I've gotten close to walking out of. But then I was like, I'll just do it, see if it gets any better. But then obviously they never even get any better. Meg to the Trench, I actually almost walked out of.
Oh no, I knew not to go to theater to see that one. I was like,
well, you're a smart man. Well, you're a smart man there, Dell, because I did. I gave my consent.
Yeah. When I saw the trailer for it, I was like, oh no, I can skip this and see it months down the line. It's not gonna matter.
But also the trailers give away all the shark sequences in the film. Like that's literally all there is what you see in the trailers. That's literally it.
Wow. I've heard that though. But yeah. The first one was only okay, so I was like, I don't need to see the Meg 2. If I see it, I'll see it, but I don't need to see it.
Sure that. Let's see. Expendables. I actually almost walked out of that film. Honestly, after the first action scene of the film, I almost walked out. Because I was like, this is so poorly directed. Like, and also the green screen in the film. The green screen is so fucking noticeable.
Oh wow! See, I haven't watched that one yet either. Now I've heard from people on the internet, and I've heard from people in real life. Everybody's like, no, don't see that one. So,
like, and also like, if you saw the peephole scene in the trailer for this film, that actually looks a lot more realistic than what you saw in the movie because it looks completely different in the movie. It looks like it's in front of a blue screen.
Like,
in the back, like the background that Stallone is standing in by that time, it looks like he's just standing in front of a blue screen.
Yeah, at some point, you gotta give it up. At some point, we don't need more Expendables movies, and I know Sly is everybody's hero, but we don't need many. We don't really need more Sylvester Stallone action movies.
Well, and plus the new coming cast that is part of the team didn't help it at all.
Yeah.
So there's that for you. And not even Jason Statham could even keep that movie afloat. Shame.
Sounds like two of them. That and the Meg too.
That's why I'm more confident this weekend with The Beekeeper because for one, there's actually a lot more creative things going on, especially with some of the kills that he's performing.
Yeah.
And another thing, I think it's actually being helmed, but even though I'm not like the biggest fan of this director, I think David Ayer is a little bit more capable of directing action.
Yeah, he's good. My thing Statham is he's become so pigeonholed over these last 7-8 years. He's just playing the same guy in every movie, just the tough guy with the British accent. And it's like, okay, guy, I'm ready for you to go back to Guy Ritchie movies now. Just do that.
Well, I mean, he did that with Operation Fortune, which I did not mind. That movie was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But then again, though, he could definitely close it back a little bit and go back to doing more Guy Ritchie stuff.
Yeah, just something not where he's got to be the action hero. Because I mean, I know he's capable. I know he's a great, I know he's trained in martial arts and all that kind of thing. But he's in that that Liam Neeson mode where he's just doing the same thing, movie after movie after movie.
But I think he's doing it better than Liam Neeson. I'm going to be real about that.
Yes, I will agree with that. I'll definitely agree with that.
Because with Liam Neeson, I'll be real about this. With Jason Statham, there are at least movies that feel different, even if they have similar plots. They feel different from one another.
Mm-hmm.
With Liam Neeson, different plots. They feel like the exact same fucking movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
But with Retribution, though, his most recent film, Retribution, which I liked, it definitely kind of strayed away from what he originally was doing, like, taking kind of action, because it mostly takes place in this car. That's about it's like Speed in a lot of ways, because it's like, but it's like he can't really, he actually can't get out of the car, otherwise it'll blow up. Like,
right. Yeah.
But other than that, Neeson can pass up on the paycheck, for crying out loud. With Statham, though, it's like he can too, but it's like I think he's doing it a lot better.
Yeah, like I said, I agree with that, because Neeson seems like he's on his last leg sometime. I mean, it helps, Statham is a bit younger.
Yeah.
So it's more believable.
Oh, Laren, yep, that's right. I can do impressions of Jason Statham. Yep, I can do a pretty good impression of Jason Statham. But then again, but like I said, I have confidence with him in The Beekeeper, because like I said, it looks a little bit more different from what we're used to from Statham, even though same kind of role.
Yeah,
like I said before, but the action looks like a lot of fun, and but yeah, and like I said, David Ayer is a good filmmaker, but just his films are very much so hit or miss. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm fingers crossed. I hope Beekeeper works out good. So I do want to see that one.
I do too. I'm hoping it works out well. But if I can speak on movies, I can already tell you that I was not confident on Night Swim, even after seeing the teaser trailer, and I was like, it was just as bad as I thought it would be. It was so bad. Like,
is that a Blumhouse one?
Yep, you guessed right.
Yeah, I've got a. They miss a lot for me. Blumhouse does.
Well, but when they hit, they really hit. Like,
yeah.
But obviously, Night Swim was a big miss. Big swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Exorcist Believer was tried to go for a swing, but a miss.
Yeah, it missed.
That's a miss right there. I think the only two there's actually 3 Blumhouse films from last year that I enjoyed, which were Megan, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Totally Killer. Like, I like those movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen Totally Killer yet. I did like Megan. I honestly didn't care for Five Nights at Freddy's, though.
That's fair. That, like, with other people, because it's like, it's definitely love or hate kind of movie, even though the critics are a lot more negative on it. But with people like us, love or hate kind of movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if you guys want my personal suggestion for any Blumhouse movie, just go watch The Black Phone. Like,
Black Phone's good.
Yes, like,
Black Phone's really good. Yeah,
I think. Yeah, screw it. It's my favorite Blumhouse movie.
Yeah, I'd have to see a list, but it's up there for sure.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what they do with the sequel. Like, honestly, I'm really interested to see what they do with the sequel.
Yeah, I mean, the way they left it, I mean, they're gonna have to do some twisting to make a sequel, but we'll see.
Hopefully it kind of leans in a little bit more of a different direction and not just be copy paste of the first movie.
Right.
So, hey, yo, Tony is in the chat. What's up, Tony? Thank you so
Tony.
much, man. Oh, hey, I meant to click off his comment, but then I clicked into Jason's. So, what's up, Jason? Says, what's up, Tope Ponto? Yeah, he likes to call me that, but thank you, Jason. So glad to see Dell on your channel. Recently saw his channel update, and I understand him perfectly. Awesome, dude.
Thank you.
That's awesome. As you should, Corey. As you should.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
It's really good. But yeah, for the most part, Blumhouse, I feel like even though they can come up with some good ideas, a lot of the times they could really fall flat. Like,
yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of Blumhouse movies. I'm like, just good idea, bad execution.
Execution is always key. So
yeah,
but then it's like, like, even though I was still not looking forward to Night Swim, I wanted to go in and still give the film a fair shot. Like, I'm like, okay, I know this film's not going to be good, but maybe I could be proven wrong. Maybe Blumhouse has finally broken the January curse.
Mm-hmm.
I go into it, I watch the film, and I'm like, nope, I was right. I was absolutely right. And it's, yeah, not looking good. Not looking good for the start. But again, it could get better, but then again, I'm not super duper confident.
Yeah.
Man. That film was so boring. Like, even though I got one unintentional laugh out of me, not joking you, one laugh. Like, and that's not what the filmmakers were intending on. Like, they were not wanting you to laugh. They were wanting you to be frightened.
Right.
By a pool that literally says the water wants to kill you.
Yeah. From the path they were going, but I was like, yeah, this I don't know about this one.
It's oh yeah, not good. And yeah, but like I said, January last year was good, but the year before that was also kind of trash. But
what was that
only
year?
one? Let's see. The only one that was like the real saving grace of January of 2022 was Scream.
Yeah, Scream was good.
But then we get films like The 355. We get films like The Tiger Rising. We get films like The King's Daughter. We get Redeeming Love. All that kind of bullshit. And it's like, yep, it's January, all right.
Yeah, I'm looking at a list now, and yeah, this pretty rough. Pretty rough.
But again, even though January last year had some bad ones, there were still at least some other good ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year's already starting off pretty damn rough. So, because we got Night Swim. Fuck you, it's January.
Well, hopefully it'll get better.
Let's hope, because again, we got The Beekeeper coming out, which I'm looking forward to. Mean Girls, I'm hoping the new Mean Girls is good. I'm hoping it's good.
I'm so curious about the way they're marketing this movie, because if you didn't already know, it's hard to tell if this is a musical, at least from everything that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Like, why are we hiding this? What is happening here?
I think they're just wanting to hide it because some people don't know that it's going to be a musical.
Yeah, but I mean, I would rather tell people and let them come see it anyway than trying to surprise them with a musical, because that's not something people typically take well to.
That part's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like, the first time I had seen the trailer when I can't remember what I went to see, but my wife was with me and we went and saw something, and they played the first teaser, and you can't tell anything about this movie at all. And from that, and then the second trailer, it was really kind of hard to tell. And my wife's first reaction, because she doesn't follow movie stuff as closely as I do, like, she'll watch movies, but she doesn't follow movies. And her first reaction was, "They're remaking Mean Girls, really? Why?" And then I was like, "Yeah, it's a musical. It's going to be different. It's a musical." Then she's like, "Oh, I couldn't tell. Didn't know that." And it was, yeah.
There you go. But I also do want to preface this. I think it was the first time I got the trailer for Night Swim was in front of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I was just like, what? And then I got it, and then as soon as I got it in front of Thanksgiving, which, by the way, if you guys have not seen Thanksgiving, check it out.
Check it out.
It's awesome.
It is. It's a good movie. I had a lot of fun with that.
You think you had a lot of fun with it, dude? Oh, look at me. I love it so much, man. It's so much fun. Like, oh my God. Some of the kills in that film, like, some of them I honestly didn't even feel bad for laughing. Like,
Yeah,
because like
yeah,
both of them
they leaned.
deserved it. Like,
Yeah, they leaned into it. Yeah, they were okay with you laughing about it.
I mean, so we'll give one away. Spoiler alert, everybody that has not seen Thanksgiving. So the scene when John Carver gets into the waitress's car somehow, but
Yeah,
whatever, it's a
somehow.
horror movie, so who cares? Um, she decides to be a dumbass. She runs and to the nearest trash can, and what happens?
Yeah, she she gets stopped and it, okay. Physics be damned. Physics be damned, but it was hilarious to see because she just basically chopped in half, and it's amazing.
Because of like not only because of the dumpster, it's the fact that John Carver crashed into it, and then the freaking things just go down, and then
Yeah,
just go
things
boom.
down. and yeah, when I saw that, I would did like you. I just burst out laughing. Like, what? What did I just see? What did I really just see? It was amazing.
Like, I did not even feel bad for laughing because it's like it was really gory for sure. Because I was just like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because oh my god. And then where does she go? The left of it, what's left of her intestines is on the sign of Right Mart.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, God.
It was definitely angling for dark comedy, in a lot of ways.
But then again, though, but then again, Eli Roth was not only leaning into the dark comedic side of it, he was also kind of leaning into the shock value.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's his calling card right there.
Exactly. Like it was the scene at the dinner table, when when he was going through on the live stream,
Mm-hmm.
when because he's like. Because the person he picks to go first to tell everyone what they're thankful for is Evan, the one that recorded the Black Friday riot.
Right.
And I forgot what the thing was called, but it's like a little bit. It's kind of like a hammer with a bunch of spikes on it. Like,
what was that thing called? I've forgotten what that thing's called. But yeah, I know I do remember the scene. So yeah.
That scene was aiming more for the shock value because it's like, even though the dude was a prick, like we can't get that wrong, but did you really want him to die? Like, but I would have morally said like Jessica's stepmom. Like I mean I was honestly wanting her to die because I hated her.
Right.
Like, and then what happens? She's cooked.
Yes, that was crazy. That was crazy. I didn't. I thought they were just gonna like burn her alive, and then they just keep on going, and he like made a whole turkey out of her. It was crazy.
That just shows you how demented John Carver is.
Yeah,
like, he is. Oh my god! And also, I like a lot of the bits that they used from the trailer that they used from that back in the Grindhouse days.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, that's a great trailer. Like, but then again, though, they wanted to make it not only a little bit more mainstream, but also kind of a little more safe for the audiences because there were some moments of it that were really explicit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But even though, obviously, when you go to an Eli Roth movie, you're gonna know he's gonna push boundaries. Like, we probably should know that by this point.
Yeah, like I said, that's his calling card. He's out for shock value 9 times out of 10.
And then obviously going for the comedy, like he's gonna go for that too. Like, I think he was more aiming. I think it was like 10 out of 10 shock value for The Green Inferno, which, by the way, that movie is way too much. Like,
I haven't seen that one.
So basically, it's about this group of people that they're on a plane. They crash into the jungle, and it's full of cannibals.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's gory. Like, honestly, I never get bothered with a lot of gore, but I felt like with that one, That one was just way, way, way too much.
Really? Okay.
Honestly, that was way too much for me. Like, even though, don't get me wrong, like I'm a big fan of films like Terrifier 2 or I
Mm,
Saw the Devil. Those
mm.
films are extremely bloody.
I Saw the Devil is amazing.
Oh my
It's
god, dude.
amazing.
That
Yeah.
that movie's gore is some of the best I've ever seen. Like,
And now for I Saw the Devil, though, it's different because that movie it's brutal and in almost in a realistic way. So it kind of hits you harder than like something like Terrifier 2, where it's just gory and but it's almost cartoonish, in like Terrifier 2
I get
and
that it's cartoonish, but
Thanksgiving.
it's all practical effects. So
Right. When I say cartoonist, I mean you look at it, it's just so much. It's like, okay, we know that that's not really it's not gonna happen like that. But with I Saw the Devil, a lot of times it's like, yeah, I could see that really happen, and the way that the things happen with impact in that movie it hits different. It hits different.
yeah, I get what you're saying, but then it's like, but like I said with Terrifier 2, like I said, the gore is all practical, but the way that they do it in certain points, like especially the bedroom scene, which don't even get me
Yeah,
started,
yeah,
they go far. Like,
yeah. I
so
was watching that and I was like, okay, we can pull back now, and and that's one of those movies, though, 2.5 hours. We were talking about runtime. I thought that was too long. I was like, this is too much.
yeah,
This
it's
is
too
too much.
long for sure. It's definitely too long, but I mean, that's just nitpicking, honestly, because it's
Yeah,
like the rest of the movie's great.
yeah.
Like, question about that: are you excited for Terrifier 3?
I am. I'm so curious. I know people lost their mind over that first teaser with the little girl in it, and I was like, oh, we really did that for this. But I'm curious to see what they actually do.
I mean, it's going to be a Christmas slasher, so I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Like, because I mean, we literally just had a Thanksgiving slasher, but now we're getting another Christmas slasher. But this
yep,
time with my man Art the Clown.
yep. Did you like It's a Wonderful Knife?
It was, it was whatever. Honestly, I mean, they
Okay,
get the biggest mistake with that film is that they give away the killer within the first 5 minutes.
they do. Yeah,
That was the film's like. Even though, let me say this. With the film like The Cabin in the Woods, giving away what happens way too early was actually the film's benefit.
hmm
But the problem with It's a Wonderful Knife, they give away the killer at the
yeah,
very beginning, so you lose all intrigue. Because with that kind of film, it's a whodunit. But with Cabin in the Woods, it's like Drew Goddard is poking fun at those scenarios, like of
right.
monsters. So yeah, with what was Justin Long doing in it? It's a Wonderful Knife.
He wasn't the mayor. What was he?
I forgot what he. That just shows you how forgettable that movie is, honestly.
No, he was the he was like the big bad businessman in the town, and I forgot what the business was.
Yeah, it's like if they actually left the intrigue, of if they didn't give away the killer within the first 5 minutes, if they actually left the intrigue, maybe it would be a lot better, but they
Right.
give it away. And I'm like, well, I don't need to watch the rest of it now. You literally just gave away the killer. Like, how would it? Do you think that Thanksgiving would be as good as it is if they gave away the killer within the first 5 minutes?
No, no, I don't. Um, yeah, you needed some kind of intrigue. Then let's try to figure out who this guy is, who this person is. So yeah,
And by the way, I want to preface that the killer reveal in Thanksgiving, I did not see that coming. Like,
no.
that got me so good. I was like, oh, maybe it's this person. No. It's them. And it's like, nope, motherfucker, it's this guy. And I'm
There's
like,
this guy. Yeah.
oh, you're joking me, right? And they're like, nope, we're not kidding you. But then it's like, but then I got confused for a couple times because I was like, well, he was going after him by the time the live stream was occurring.
Right, right.
So
They some plot holes, continuity errors, but overall don't mind.
well, I
Not a
didn't
movie.
mind it though. I didn't mind that though because they were trying to. Eli Roth did it in a way where they were trying to mess with you, like, like even go back to something like Scream 6. Like the third killer reveal was the one that actually caught me the most off guard because I was like,
Mhm.
wait, weren't you dead? Like,
Yeah,
but then it's like, oh, okay, smart, okay. But then again, at the same time, it's like they can definitely do better with those kind of things. With like actually do a little bit better, like explaining certain things. Because it's like, how did you do it when you were going over here?
yeah,
But I don't know. It's movie logic, I guess. So I can't
yeah.
complain.
Oh, definitely, absolutely, movie logic.
Because like, if it, I mean, sometimes the physics can just be completely broken. It's just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Physics are
Mm-hmm.
just completely thrown out the window. So
And in slasher movies, sometimes you need that because it's just sometimes you just want something that's fun, or something that's just crazy and hard to believe. So I don't
yeah,
mind that.
like example, obviously there's some things in Thanksgiving that are definitely something that would not happen in real life.
Yeah, yeah,
Like um the trash can, like the dumpster scene, like
yeah.
that
The
would
dumpster
definitely
scene.
not happen.
No, yeah. Because, like I said, I was for sure just my eyes just popped open. Like, what? What?
What? Oh my god, dude! Like that got me so off guard. But the thing I admired most about Thanksgiving was the opening scene, like, and how realistic he depicted it.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah. It looked like those years back.
Because I watched a video about the craziest Black Friday moments,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh my god, this is really accurate!" Like,
Yeah.
this is super duper accurate, and I'm like, I mean, even with some of the stuff that happens in the beginning of it, with some people going to the extent of killing each other over deals, I'm like,
Oh yeah. And
that shit's happened.
yeah, it's even come back a little bit these last week or two with was it the Stanley mugs? Have you been seeing that stuff all over the place?
Yeah, the Stanley mugs.
Yeah, and everybody's just acting crazy trying to get these mugs and pushing and shoving each other, and Target had lines outside the door. It's just a mug, guys. It's just a cup.
You motherfuckers need to chill out.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's see. Corey says, I Saw the Devil is very good and very brutal. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Question for everyone. What's a biopic where you feel the actor looks a lot like the real person?
Let's see. It's weird if you ask me that, but when I'm not, if we're talking about it, I could probably come up with 10 of them. The one that really always sticks to me with me is when Denzel played Malcolm X. Not necessarily that Denzel looks like Malcolm X, but I thought he embodied him so well that when the name comes up, I first see Denzel's face before I see the actual Malcolm X. And I know there's more, and I'll think of some soon. But go ahead.
One I would also think of is Austin Butler playing Elvis. Because
Yeah, he did.
not only
Yeah.
does he embody the role, he has the voice and the look. So
Yeah, he
yeah,
did look like him.
a lot like him. Oppenheimer. Like that's the one that always gets like the easiest comparison. Like,
Yeah.
so what's another?
I'm trying to think.
But thank you for that question though, Drew. That's a really good question, man.
It took some makeup and doing, but when Michelle Williams played Marilyn Monroe in My Week with Marilyn,
Oh,
Pretty good one, yeah.
okay.
That was a good one. She did look like Marilyn in that movie.
And that's really impressive, might I say. That's really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I would even go to this extent of saying Darkest Hour, the biopic about Winston Churchill.
Oh yeah, it took a lot of prosthetics for that.
Yeah. Oh my God, the prosthetics they used. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey Mike, my boy
What's up,
Mike
Mike?
is Luke and Dell. What's up, boys? What's up with you, buddy?
What's going on?
Going back to this question here for a second. This was a really interesting question because it's like looking at certain biopics, it's like some of them are really do not look like the actual person.
No.
Like I can tell you straight from the get-go that Paul Dano does not look like the actual Roaring Kitty, aka Keith Gill from Dumb Money. I mean, he somewhat looks similar, but he does not look like exactly like him.
Right. You know, if you can get somebody who embodies the character, and they don't have to be a clone of that person. It's got to be good at playing the role.
But that's why I give that a pass, though, because Paul Dano embodies that actual person.
Right.
So that's kind of why I give him a bit of a pass for that, because when is he not a good actor, though? Because it's like...
he's excellent.
Because it's like the past few movies he's been in, he's always been taking good roles.
I don't remember ever really seeing him do poorly in a movie.
Anytime he's in a movie, you're always going to get a good performance from the guy.
Yeah. Whether or not the movie is great, he's usually great.
He's always I think he's always the standout pretty much in every movie I've seen him in.
Mm-hmm.
Example, what's a good one?
The Batman.
The Batman, that's a good one. Prisoners,
yeah.
He's the standout in Prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
The Fablemans.
Yeah.
Love the Fablemans.
Yeah, it's a good one. He wasn't the standout because the other performance was just so great, but he was also great in There Will Be Blood.
He's like close up with Daniel Day-Lewis though. Like he's really close.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was acting alongside a legend right there, so it's like, yeah. I mean, you can't really beat Daniel Day-Lewis. So, but I think of who else. What else? Little Miss Sunshine. He was also Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. I adore that movie.
If you want to talk about perfect 3-act structure, that one.
Yes,
it's perfect with 3-act structure. It's perfect. Even though he has a little bit more of a minor part in it, 12 Years a Slave.
I'm trying to remember who he played in that now. Oh man, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah, he's in that one, and boy, is he terrifying!
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
But anytime you see a villainous role from Paul Dano, he's gonna not only is he gonna go all in, he'll make the villain terrifying.
Yeah.
The Batman, him playing as the Riddler, he is terrifying in that
movie. He is.
Even sometimes the simplest words of dialogue he speaks out.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Seriously, what's black and blue and dead all over you?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, dude. Christ, man, that really gets under my skin. But again, that just goes to show how good Paul Dano is at his job. Let's see this next one. Hold on, one quick second. All right. So this one I also am also curious about. What is the one film that made you love movies on the level you do now?
um, there's so many. I mean, it's like I grew up in the 70s. That's when I first started going to movies. And the one that I would say really gave me a love of movies overall is probably the first Star Wars, and well, A New Hope, as we call it now.
Okay.
That one, between that one and Superman the movie, between those two.
Good picks, man. Like those are definite classics.
Yeah, absolute classics.
Like, even though they're kind of similar in vein to what kind of movie they are, but they're definitely completely different movies. There are two movies from the 2000s that shaped me as a film lover, which are The Incredibles and The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Those films shaped me as a film lover. Because I was like, wow, there's more to movies than just watching them. There's a lot more to them. Because with what they did with The Incredibles, like, it's not just a superhero story. It's about basically, wanting to protect people. Like,
it's very much a family film. I mean, not in the sense that it's for families to watch, but it's about the family in the movie more than in them being superheroes.
I mean, obviously they got to become superheroes in order to save the entire planet. Right. But it's morely about like the things that they're going through, even especially now that superheroes are illegal. Which, by the way, if you want to give an Oscar for dumbest law of all time, I'd call that like the dumbest law of all time, because it's like, people need to be saved, dude. Like, oh my god.
But it came at a time, when we're really starting to realize at the time that superheroes are great for saving the day and all that, but there's so much collateral damage around superheroes. So there's a conversation to be had there. I agree that's not a good law, but there's a conversation to be had there. So we had it with The Incredibles, we had it with The Watchmen, we had that conversation with Captain America: Civil War, even BVS, Batman vs Superman. They were all kind of revolving around that same thing. Superheroes, sure, they're great. They can save the day, but there's so much unintentional damage. Is it worth it? And are they causing more problems than they're solving? Because it's kind of like the Batman and Gotham thing. Are you bringing these guys out of the woodwork? All these bad guys, would they even come here if you weren't here?
That's a good point. Even I'm glad you brought up Watchmen, for that matter, because it's like, because that's an interesting group of superheroes, might I say.
Yeah, you're very interesting.
Oh my god. Back to The Incredibles for a second. Even especially not just that superheroes are illegal, but also someone that wants to fantasize being a superhero. Like, that's when we get probably my favorite Pixar villain in Syndrome. Voiced by Jason Lee, who I think is amazing. Like, all he really wanted was just to work with Mr. Incredible, but obviously he rejected him. So obviously he had to take his revenge.
Yeah, he was a great villain. There's just that whole movie. I mean, it's an awesome movie. So it's a great pick for a movie to get you into movies.
And with The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's imagination about this story of Batman, and not just Batman, the Joker.
Yeah.
Well-deserved Oscar win for Heath Ledger. May he rest in peace.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Like, if he was still alive, I think he'd honestly be in competition for probably most underrated actor of all time. If I'm going to be honest, like, he'd be up there with like Paul Dano in a lot of facets, even though he already has won Oscars he was named.
Right.
But it's like, he's such a good actor. Like,
yeah, he's good. He made The Dark Knight what it is. He his presence loomed over the movie, even though he doesn't have as much screen time as it seems like he has. It seems like he's got that whole 2.5 hours. He's there for every scene. It seems like it when you just think about the movie, but he's really not. It's just his presence looms over it, and then every time he's on the screen, and he is the most terrifying version of the Joker to this day for me. Even over Joaquin Phoenix, because that Joker was a little different. We're talking about mental health with that Joker, and we know everything about him. But with Heath Ledger's Joker, we don't know anything about this guy. He just shows up and he's evil.
Right, but then I wanted to bring up a point about Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Like, obviously, it's an origin story about how he became the Joker.
Right.
But I wanted to preface this, like, I think it was a really interesting deep dive into mental health because he's the guy. Because Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in that film has uncontrollable laughter, and I'm like, bro, that's terrible. Like.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I'm not disparaging Joaquin Phoenix's Joker at all. It's a great movie.
Also a well-deserved Oscar win.
Yeah, he was excellent. Yeah,
but it's like some of the dialogue he gives out, even especially like during the third act at Murray Franklin's talk show.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, he like not only is he speaking from his point of view, he is right. Like, because people, with the way that he's talking about certain people out in Gotham, like, he is absolutely right. Because it's like, people will go crazy. Like, oh my God. And I'm pretty sure everybody has seen Joker by this point. Yeah, he kills Murray Franklin, like, when he tries to give him a joke, he kills him
right on TV, live on TV.
That just goes to show that the Joker does not give one shit.
Nope.
He was just like, you get what you deserve. Boom. Like, shot right to the face. I'm like, well, yeah, he deserved it. Because I mean, dude, Murray Franklin humiliated.
He did.
Arthur. He humiliated him.
Yep. And I mean, and purposely went out of his way to humiliate him. Not even just like in the heat of the moment thing. He put him on a segment of the show to humiliate him, and then brought him on the show to do the same. And yeah, get what you deserve, I guess.
That's why, like, case in point. I think that's a good message about the film. Don't humiliate people, because. I mean, you may not get what the Joker did to Murray, but something will happen when you humiliate people. Because honestly, like, if you want to talk about people that have been humiliated, I want to tell you a little story about a famous comedian, Joe Coy. He was when he was 18, he was like on this. I think it was they got a bar for like a comedy thing. Like, his tongue was like sticking to the roof of his mouth. He's like, your mouth gets so dry, the tongue sticks to the roof of your mouth. The lady at the bar goes, put a condom on it. Like,
okay.
And literally gets a big laugh out of the audience because and not only that, the more humiliating thing is he was the one. Like, I'm not joking you. He was the one that wrote the joke. That is humiliating. Like, like that lady at the bar just crushed the joke that he bombed with. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're a comedian though. You gotta. It's a tough gig. I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah,
he was hosting the Globes last night, wasn't he?
I think Coy was hosting those. I'm not 1,000% sure.
Yeah, I was kind of in and out of it. I didn't really watch the whole thing.
I was only waiting for the wins, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because if I think also want to ask this: like, if you watch any stand-up comedy, who are some of your favorite stand-up comedians?
I've been watching a lot of Chappelle lately.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, like Dave Chappelle. I watched Chris Rock's special recently. What was it? My wife has me watching Matt Rife. She loves Matt Rife.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she loves Matt Rife. And he's not bad. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I like Deion Cole. Deion Cole is pretty good.
Nice.
I just saw Trevor Noah's special where I know he got nominated last night, and that was pretty good too.
But I think it was for wasn't it? It was for the writing in a comedy special, wasn't it? Like
whatever. They had a bunch of stand up. They had a stand up award last night, and his was one of the specials that was nominated.
But that ultimately went to Mr. John Mulaney, who I think is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but yeah.
Baby J is hilarious. He basically goes over the stories of his drug addiction back when he was younger, and puts it as one big joke. Like, okay. Seriously,
I've seen clips of him, so I just hadn't watched a whole special of his.
So, oh my god! like seriously, he's like, he admits that he started doing drugs when he was 14 with his two best friends, John and John. So by the time that the cops catch them, like, the two boys say that they're John, and then by the time they get to John Mulaney, the cop is like, "Your name better fucking not be John." And then his remark is, "They call me Baby J out on these streets."
That sounds kind of like the Ron White joke, the tater salad joke. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
I'm not like super duper familiar with it. But...
Yeah, Ron White, he's like he's get drunk and he gets thrown out of a bar, but the cop that arrests him, it's a small town, so he's known him all his life, and he still asks for his name, like, "What's your name?" And he's looking at him like, "Dude, you know my damn name." And he said, "What's your name?" So he tells him tater salad. So then he says years later he's in another city, another state, same kind of thing where he gets drunk and he's been put out, and they start running his records, and they ask him if he has any aliases or anything. He said, "No, I don't have any aliases." And they start running it again, and they look at him like, "Are you Ron Tater Salad White?" So yeah, that was
okay. Yeah. Another one that also comes to mind, Gabriel Iglesias. I actually watched one of his specials at school.
Yeah, I like Fluffy. Yeah.
Frankie, you want to know what a hooker is? Yeah. Those are your mom's friends. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I heard that because I was watching that in history class, the teacher I had was awesome enough to show that. I think I could not stop laughing for at least 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah,
wow. That was how funny that joke was.
You did have a cool teacher showing that in class.
Yeah, I definitely did.
I Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill Burr. Like, oh god, dude, Bill Burr's funny.
Yeah.
Who else? But Jeff Dunham's also one of my favorite stand-up comics.
Yeah, I know Jeff Dunham. Yeah.
Seriously, like the puppets, dude. The puppets are obviously the show stealers, but I mean, he still is a funny guy in general. Like, it's a question on that. Who's your favorite puppet out of the gang?
For Jeff Dunham?
Yep.
The main one, the purple one with the purple face.
Peanut.
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but yeah.
Mine definitely has to be Walter.
Is that the old man?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's like because the way that he uses Walter to depict old people, I'm like, that is so damn accurate. Like, Oh my god. Oh, it even has a sound that goes knack, 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 knack,
Yeah,
knack,
yeah.
knack, knack, knack.
Well, one of the things, speaking of comedians, older comedians, an old person. Well, he became an old person. One of the people I like to go back and watch other people react to is George Carlin.
Oh, George Carlin.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Carlin is amazing. If anybody out there, if you're looking for a comedian who's going to make you think and laugh, Carlin is amazing. But there are a lot of YouTubers out there that are just discovering him and they do reactions to his stuff, and it's funny.
Oh my god. Like again, I'm not, even if I say the jokes that my friend said, I'm not trying to be the joke thief, because like I'm just telling the funny story, because it's like example of that from last night when we did the spoiler talk for Night Swim. My buddy Grant, shout out to him, brought up his experience about Aquaman of the Lost Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
The scene like when he's giving his speech and someone lifts up their arm and you see like a little Discovery Plus shameless plug for some stupid reason.
Yeah.
He literally had the balls to yell out, "Zaslav, you dirty whore!" and people lost it around him.
I bet that was a bad movie.
It's not good at all. Like
No,
the third act saved it, but other than that, not good, man. It's not good at all.
no, it's not.
Like that really how you end the DCEU?
Oh, unfortunately, it is.
They should have ended it with the Flash. Just saying.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like the Flash either, so I was like, you know what? Maybe with Fury of the Gods, maybe that one. Maybe that should have been the end.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. But it's late. But I don't know, man. But like, if I was there with them, I would have been like, bro. If they do a certain plug, you better yell out. Like, like, that's not the only time he's done that kind of stuff in the theater. Like, I think it was oh yeah, the movie Slaughterhouse. Yeah, you heard me, Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yes,
that movie's something else. So the scene like where the sloth is like, "Come on." He turns to his friend Sarah and's like, "Do you dare me?" She said, "Yeah." He shouted out, was like, "Run, bitch, run!" I actually did the same thing about that when it came to Five Nights at Freddy's. It was the kitchen scene, when the guy opens the door and the cupcake's there.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, "Run, bitch, run!" And then going over to Night Swim when the daughter gets pulled underwater because of a certain demonic thing that they never explain about. I did somewhat of the same thing, but I said I did, "Swim, bitch, swim." And then let's see, Blood and Honey, which by the way, yeah, the movie sucks.
Yeah, it does.
So it was the credits that were starting to roll. This guy that was sitting a couple rows in front of him said, "You raped my childhood." And then Grant turns to Ryan and is like, "You dare me?" He's like, "Yeah, do it." And he stands up and goes, "Fuck this movie." And then the same guy, a couple of rows in front yelled, "What he said, fuck this movie." and then Grant yells, "Oh bother, oh fucking bother," and then everyone loses it and gives them a standing ovation. Like,
yeah. I believe it, because that was pretty rough sitting through that.
Thankfully, I didn't have to sit through that in theaters, because
no, I didn't either. I saw it at home.
Good, because I don't know how that film got released into theaters. I really don't know how.
Hype. Yeah, the hype
Maybe
train.
because of the Twitter virality.
Yeah. All of a sudden, people are like, "Oh my god, a Winnie the Pooh horror movie! Let's go see it."
And plus, the movie's budget was it's reported that it was under $100,000, but it is $100,000. So, and
Yeah.
I know that's not a lot of money to make a movie, and I know how difficult it is to make a movie. But it's like you could have used more money. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, you could have had some more money here. Oh my god!
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their finances were like or how they got the 100,000 to begin with. So who knows?
They couldn't have even done some of the funny catchphrases. They couldn't have even done some of those with the characters. Like,
Right.
example, like if Winnie the Pooh was stabbing somebody, he'd be like, "Oh bother!"
Yeah.
Something like that. You could have done something like that. Like,
no, they didn't give us
or
anything.
somewhat of a Winnie the Pooh signature kill, like where he puts a honey pot on somebody's head, takes it off, and it's melting somebody's face. Could smash it with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, could have done something.
Or even drown somebody in molten hot honey. Like, that would have been creative. But they don't do any of that for some reason. Like,
No.
It's every single kill in that film is everything you've seen in a normal slasher movie. Like, example, when he stabs this girl in the mouth that kills Piglet. Like, he uses a machete and stabs her in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
and I'm like, well, Jenna Ortega can do that better. If you guys know, if you know, you know.
They definitely could not afford Jenna Ortega. That's for sure.
I know that for sure, because it's like she sees the budget and she's like, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, well, I don't blame you, because you got better things to be working on.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been incredibly busy over these past couple of years. Like,
yeah, she's been everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm like, dang, girl, don't you think you need a break? Like, oh my goodness. But I get it though. She's in her early 20s, so it's like I get it.
Yeah, striking while the iron's hot.
Yeah, I think it was just like after Scream, it was like boom, like she's everywhere now.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. But yeah, even after that happens, I was like, and then also the fact that she still screams after she dies. Do the filmmakers not know the logic?
Apparently not.
Like, look, I know it's meant to be a B movie, and I can kind of look at it as a so bad it's good movie in some ways. But there are just those little things about that movie where it's like, I can't overlook that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Or even the one I always go to is the wood chipper scene. When Pooh murders a girl by stuffing her in a wood chipper.
Yep.
And before she gets put into the wood chipper, for good measure, what does he do? Rip.
Yeah. Takes his shirt off. Yeah.
He rips her shirt off, and then what happens? Boobs.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to get that in there.
At least, but not so in your face.
Right.
Because then it's also like the characters in the film are basically embraced by the fact that they have tits.
Yeah.
Like,
that is the whole character. You want to see a better wood chipper scene? Watch out, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I was about to say that.
That's a much better wood chipper scene.
I was literally about to say that, because that wood chipper scene, while unexpected, was freaking hilarious.
It was hilarious. I laughed like crazy when first time I saw that.
And then Tucker's response to that is like, "Are you okay?" It's like, bro, he fucking dove head first into the wood chipper.
He's not okay.
Or even when the sheriff got that little trap that they had to the head, he was like, he looked like he's gonna walk it off. He's gonna be fine. Not only is that movie hilarious, it's creative. Like, it's really creative.
It's a great movie. Anybody out there hasn't seen that, please go see Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Please check it out somewhere.
Oh my god, that movie's so freaking funny. Like, one of the funniest death scenes in a movie ever is in that movie. not just the wood chipper scene, but also the scene when one of the guys tries to stab Dale with a spike, but then all of a
Oh,
sudden he trips over himself and then he gets killed.
he gets killed. Yeah.
And just the way
All
he
the deaths are
slowly goes
hilarious
down
in
and
that
just
movie.
starts spitting blood, I'm just like, oh my god. Dale's reactions say it all, dude. I'm like, I'd be terrified too if somebody did that.
Yeah. All of the kills in that movie are just they're hilarious. They're just about all of them.
Like, not just hilarious, but they're also creative. Like,
Hmm.
even if some of them are cliched, like most of them are actually really creative. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
example, the I forget what it's called, but it's like when Jason goes up to the door and is like, "It's showtime, freaks!"
Yeah.
and then accidentally gets his girl, and I'm like, bitch, you should have been paying attention. Like,
That's really the whole movie. You should have been paying attention. That's really the whole movie right there. You could say that to every character. You should have been paying
but
attention.
that's the one. But that's the one I always go to when I literally want to say you should have been paying attention.
Yeah.
like Tucker's just right there, and then a few seconds later, like when he starts charging, move, she's there.
Yep.
That was just like, I was like, bitch, not only should you have ducked, you should have been paying up. You should have been paying the fuck attention.
Yep.
I love Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
That's a great movie.
I might have to do that one for this year's Halloween watch alongs. Might have to do that one sometime. Like,
yeah, it's a
I need
fun
to think
one.
about
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a fun one.
But oh my god. But still, though, I cannot get over like how ridiculous that movie is. Oh yeah, the scene when the kid shoots himself, like because apparently he tries to shoot at Tucker and Dale, but then it's like the gun won't go, and then Dale's like, "Oh, you got to take the little safety off in the shot
Yep.
there."
Yep.
Takes the safety off, shoots himself in the face.
Face. Yep. Right in the face.
And then Tucker's remark as soon as they get into Duck, he's like, "You got to take the safety off." That I can't with that movie. I just can't.
No, yeah, it's crazy.
Like, basically, dark comedy, grindhouse fun. Basically, is what that movie is.
Oh yeah,
Like, you can definitely tell by a lot of the gore and some of the stuff that occurs in that film. It's definitely a grindhouse movie. Like, but it's like, you know it. Like,
yeah. It's a parody. You know, it's a full on parody. You know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Wrong Turn, parodies those kind of movies.
yeah, those kind of movies, and it does it in the most respectful way possible.
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
They don't do it where it's disgraceful. So,
No, not at all.
like, oh my god, could you imagine if they parodied it in the most disrespectful way possible? Just basically dressing up a famous character and them making fart noises.
They do that the whole.
What?
They do that in the whole Scary Movie franchise.
Well, at least with some of those jokes, they're clever. Like, they do it in a clever way.
I'll be honest, I don't like any of those movies. I hate those movies.
I'm just speaking on films like after that. Like, I'm thinking films like date movie, epic movie, disaster movie.
All of those,
like,
yeah.
like those
I hate
those ones are bad. Like,
yep.
Like, seriously. Like, oh my god. Like, you see this one guy naked in a museum, and then all he says is Beowulf.
Yeah. So you know, for that whole franchise was scary movie, date movie, epic movie, superhero movie, dance movie, whatever they call
Dance
it.
flick.
Yeah, it's you know, they just take a scene from that other movie and add something gross maybe, and then call it a parody. It's like, you know, they just replay the
Extreme
scene.
movie. They make a fart joke go on for at least a minute.
Yeah.
But if you want to see, if you hear about a movie that where basically where farts are basically part of the entire thing, boy, there is that movie. There's actually a movie. There's actually a movie centered around fart jokes.
Oh, is this a Swiss Army Man? Is that what you're talking about?
No, that doesn't count because those are at least funny. Like,
Oh, the Lighthouse.
that's fun. Those are funny too.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like where it gets completely irritating, like where it's like you watch it and it's just like, okay, we get it. This kid farts. We get it.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
But then it's like, even some of the stuff that happens in the film makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, the way that he gets a rocket to go to space by farting. That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
I don't think you heard about the movie that I'm referring to.
I don't think so.
It's a little 2002 film called Thunderpants.
No, I don't know that movie.
Rupert Grint.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
I've
ever heard of that.
The Rupert Grint was not the farting kid. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And I'm like, good. He doesn't deserve that. But not even he could save that movie. Hell, even Paul Giamatti or Stephen Fry could even save that movie. They're both in that movie.
They're both in Paul Giamatti. Wow.
But thankfully, the same year, Paul Giamatti redeemed himself with Big Fat Liar. So I can forgive him for that.
Oh, Paul Giamatti's done a lot of good stuff.
But then there's also some stinkers he's been in.
Oh, yeah.
But then for most of the stinkers he's in, he saves. Like,
yeah, he's great. I don't ever have a problem with a Paul Giamatti performance.
But it's just with Thunderpants, there's no clear explanation for things like why they happen. Like at the beginning, Patrick's parents get a divorce, and that's the main kid. That's not played by Rupert Grint. It's played by a kid named Bruce Cook, who never acted again after that movie. And it makes sense why. His parents get a divorce all because he's farting.
They get a divorce.
Because, oh yeah, and also because of his farts, it put his dad in a coma.
What?
I'm not lying. I'm not even lying about that. Like, if you guys think I'm lying about that, then go watch the movie then.
Thunderpants. Okay.
But not you, Dell. Don't watch it.
No, I'm not in a rush to watch it. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, and then but the dream that Patrick has is to become an astronaut, which they refer to as spaceman.
Okay.
And I'm just like, just call it what it is. It's a fucking astronaut. Oh my god, that movie's fucking terrible. Have a fart counter on while you watch that film, and your fart counter will tell you 50 farts within 83 minutes.
Wow. Now, they can be funny, like Blazing Saddles. That was funny.
The bad guys made it funny. Like there's only like a couple of fart jokes in there because that's a problem that one of the characters has, but they're funny.
Right.
Or Sonic 2. Like Sonic 2 had one fart joke in it, and that was Robot Sonic. Like he tried to convince James Marsden, that he had too many chili dogs, but then it was a Robot Sonic.
Right.
I was like, you clever little hedgehog. Oh my god. Like, again, fart jokes can be funny. Like, yeah. I'll give you that, Dell. Like, they can be funny. They have to be executed right.
Come back to that word again, execution. Execution is always key.
But when you have it just continuously throughout an entire movie, minus Swiss Army Man, because Swiss Army Man at least is clever. But when you have it in a movie that makes literally no sense, yeah, you lost me.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, with the bad guys, it makes sense because anytime Mr. Piranha lies, he farts.
Right. Right. And that was a fun movie, actually.
One of the better animated films we've gotten this decade so far. Like, I will I will be honest about that. It's one of the better ones.
Okay.
And really quick, I'm going to move spots here because my phone is almost dead. So you're not going to see my face for a minute, but nope. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I have to.
Good night, Judge. Judge say good night.
Yep, I know I got to get back to the comments, but it'll be a second. But Michael 101591 is in the chat. What's going on, Michael?
Hey, Mike.
Thank you so much. But yeah, it's like, again, like you said, you can do fart jokes in movies, but not only execute them right, but make them funny.
Yeah, gotta make them funny.
And to a point where they make sense. Like, because like you said, Blazing Saddles, like that's where they made them funny.
Yep.
There's kind of a fart joke in American Pie that's actually really funny. Has diarrhea.
Oh, the diarrhea joke, really, but yeah,
But it still counts though because technically it's fart noises in the toilet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Stifler, you're so cruel, but yet you're clever.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Seriously, he puts it's laxatives. He puts laxatives in his food.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god. Like, not only was I like, my eyes were just like this because it's like, oh god, no, that's bad. Because it's like, that can happen. Like, I can just say that can happen, but then it's like, oh my god, dude, like, you've been through a lot of shit.
Literally.
Oh yeah, I made a shit joke. Yay! Oh my god. Oh yeah, another thing about Thunderpants, why it doesn't make any sense. The main kid can fart a high note. Like, seriously.
A high note. Wow.
Like, the farts will sound like the high note of an opera singer.
Oh goodness.
At times, and I'm like, bitch, that makes no sense.
You're kind of making me want
to. A singular kid can make a fart sound like a high pitched opera singer.
You're kind of making me want to check it out because I got to see the insanity.
You're probably going to be in misery by that time, Dell. But I'm only saying those things to help you avoid it because those are things that actually happens in that movie.
Got it.
So, because I can speak from experience on that movie because I've seen it before. It sucks. Like, what makes the thing even worse? Guess what the character's last name is for Patrick?
It's probably got something to do with farting or gas or something like that.
His character name was Patrick Smash.
Smash. And that's not what I was expecting, but okay.
That is the dumbest character name of all time. Give me Dex Dog Detective over fucking Patrick Smash.
That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough.
No pun intended, because I pointed out Dog Detective.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I know Dog Detective.
Dex Dog Detective from Food Fight. AKA one of the biggest disasters in animation of all time. Do you know the story about the pre-production problems with that movie?
No, I don't.
Okay, so the film was originally in development since 1999.
Okay.
It was originally supposed to come out in the early 2000s. The trailer was released, but then, as they call spies, stole the hard drive that had the footage. And by that one, it was CG, computer animated animation.
Okay.
But in the 2012 version that was direct to DVD, the one that we got is mocap animation, and it looks horrible. Like, Like, it looks like a nightmare, dude.
Mm.
You look at some of the characters and you're like, oh no, I would not let you near my kids. They look
No.
that bad, and also the film is of course filled with a lot of product placement jokes. If you couldn't guess from the title, Food Fight.
Yeah, so you
A
get
lot of product placement.
food products. Yeah.
Yeah, like Dex asks asks a lady at a bar, "You got milk?" And she's like, "Do I look like the Dairy Queen to you?"
Wow.
Or even like, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a spam."
No.
Get out of here. Or, and I thought the raisins were humiliating.
Somebody was too clever for their own good. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and I would rather hear more food puns instead of hearing a kid fart 50 times.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I would rather hear food puns. Because food puns honestly may sound funnier in concept. Because the way that they utilize it may sound funny.
Mm.
But again, like I said, execution's key.
Yep.
They didn't execute the jokes very well. Like, and also there's a lot of double entendres in Food Fight. And that's a kid's movie, for crying out loud.
So it's not a sausage party kind of thing.
No, it's not. It's a kid's movie. Like it's a movie that's supposed to be made for kids, but then they decide to pull a complete Cat in the Hat 180 trick on you. If you get what I mean, because there's a lot of double entendres in the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, there are lots of them.
But at least like those can be enjoyable when you're just having drinks with friends, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But with Food Fight, it's like that's an animated movie made for children.
The double entendres are there for the older folks, because the kids most of the time don't get them.
I mean, robots, even with the double entendres they do in robots, I didn't get them as a kid.
Right.
But yet I still found them funny. Like, but the one I definitely did get was the Aunt Fanny joke. We couldn't call her Aunt Booty. Like I got that instantly. I was like,
that's pretty easy. That's a pretty easy one.
Because I was like, oh wait, yeah, she's got a big butt. Like,
go back to the Adam West Batman 66. That one's got a ton of double entendres in it.
Oh my god, it's shark repellent, literally.
Yeah, well, yeah, the shark repellent. Yeah, that's funny. But if you listen to the dialogue in that movie, it's a whole lot of innuendo and double entendres in that movie. It's like when I went back to it years later and watched it, I was like, wow, this was what I was watching as a kid. And all those jokes as a kid just went right over my head. Yeah. As an adult, and as an adult, it was like, oh, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so
that was
again, like I said, you really got to pay attention to certain dialogue moments in those kind of movies, because it's like you blink or you miss. You blink and you miss it, but it's like you mishear it, you're gonna get it confused, and people are gonna be like, "No, dumbass, this is what it means."
Yeah,
like legitimately. So like, seriously, oh my god. And again, the animation in Food Fight is just I think that movie would only cost like $65 million. That's crazy. Like, maybe because of the production problems, but also Charlie Sheen is in that movie. Yeah, you heard me right.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, Eva Longoria, Hilary Duff is also in that movie. A decent enough cast, but
I was gonna say that's a pretty strong cast, actually.
But that is one of the lowest rated films on IMDb of all time, with a 1.3.
I remember hearing about it, but I didn't see it, so yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, and like honestly, the older trailer for it, the animation looks way more finished. Like, even though it was still technically unfinished, it looks way more finished than what we actually got. Like, because you can definitely tell with the mocap animation, it did not look finished. Like, so yeah, that's basically the disaster of Food Fight, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys do not know about that, it's a bad movie. Like, it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I've heard it was, but I didn't bother with that one.
Yeah, it's also that's also one of those films where it causes also a lot of WTF moments.
Okay.
Example, at the very end, a dog and a woman get married.
Oh, that's giving me B movie vibes.
Oh God.
Which I couldn't stand B movie.
Yeah, I get you, but it's like
because at the end I'm like, wait,
they can do better than that. Like,
yeah, at the end of B movie though, I was like, wait, so is the bee and the woman a couple? What is happening here? What is going on right now?
But they don't even tend to explain it to you.
No, they don't.
It's just like, yeah, you're gonna accept this, motherfuckers. I'm just gonna shove this down your kid's throat. Like, that's literally what they're trying to do, just to get that through to you. Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, motherfucker, you better tell me right now. Like, oh man, let's see. Oh hey, Josh is in the building. What's up, Josh?
What's going on, Josh?
Always supportive. Yeah, dude, that's yeah. If you go to a list of the top 10 worst animated films of all time, Food Fight is always on the list. Like it's always on there. Like, and makes sense why.
Well, I think one of the worst ones I saw, because with the product placement, it also reminded me of the Emoji Movie. That was pretty.
I would honestly argue that one's worse. Like, I mean, I can give you this. The animation looks more finished.
Yeah.
Like, I can say that at least, but the movie as a whole is like that one's filled with way more product placement than Food Fight. Like,
it's terrible,
and it's also done in the most cringe-worthiest way possible. The dialogue in the film as well is fucking awful.
Yep.
And what's the film's message? Text more often, kids. You don't need to contact face to face. Yeah, I wanted to literally set them. I literally wanted to get a copy of that movie and just set it on fire.
yeah, it's pretty brutal,
and not in obviously a gory way. You know, it's a brutal film because of how fucking awful it is.
Yeah, it's just it's tough. It's tough to make it all the way through it.
If you make it past the first 15 minutes, you're a real champion.
I have sat through the whole thing, so I guess I'm a champion. I'll take it.
We're champions right here, Dell. So we're champions here. Food Fight is in my worst movie of all time. Interesting. I mean, I don't think anything's going to get worse than me than Jeepers Creepers Reborn, but that doesn't hide the fact that Food Fight's still bad. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Jeepers Creepers Reborn is the worst film of all. I honestly would say the worst film I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
It's that bad. Like,
wow.
And funny thing is, everything that's shot outside, it's not actually shot outside. It's all in front of a fucking green screen.
Oh, and you can tell.
You can legit tell because of lighting. Like, you can tell it's green screen. Like, even like when they even go inside a house, it's green screen. Like, you can tell it's green screen. Like, and also the creeper looks like the worst bodybuilder with the worst makeup. Like, that's how bad he looks. Like, you're supposed to make him look scary. Case in point, with like Jeepers Creepers 2, he scared the shit out of me. Like,
I've never seen a Jeepers Creepers movie. I've not seen any of them. I don't know why.
The first two are the only ones worth watching. Like those are the good Jeepers Creepers movies. 3 was not good, but it sure as hell's a masterpiece compared to Reborn. Because oh my god, I mean, any movie can be a masterpiece compared to Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Honestly, like it's that bad of a movie. Like,
Okay.
I don't even want to get into reasons why, because otherwise I'm just going to make myself angry. Like, you don't want to see that from me. Like, you really don't. Because if you guys really want to see my anger side of that movie, go watch my rant video on it. Because I did that. Oh. Thankfully, my night was redeemed after I watched Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which is a great movie.
I started to watch that the other night because I still haven't seen that. And then I think I started it too late. So I'm going to have to go back to it. So I've heard it's really good, though.
It's great, for sure, man. Like, I don't think I can ever think of a movie that made me blush as much as it did than that one.
Made you blush. Okay.
Because it was just so fucking adorable. Like it made me blush. Like it just made me blush, dude. I swear to God. Like, oh man. Yeah. But now let's try to get on a little positive note and actually talk about some good movies here for a little bit.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I wanted to also ask, what were some of your favorites from last year?
Well, we talked a lot about Oppenheimer. That was one of my favorites from last year. I'd say Across the Spider-Verse was probably my number one. That was I really enjoyed every bit of that movie. And at 2.5 hours, I could have had 2.5 more hours of that movie, to be honest with you. I really liked They Clone Tyrone. That was a Netflix movie.
They Clone Tyrone was a good one.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. Last couple of days, let me pull up my letterbox here. What have I been watching?
I can tell you that a couple of weeks ago I did watch Saltburn, and that is a weird fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that one here shortly. I watched The Creator the other night. I thought The Creator was really good. I thought that I did enjoy that. I know some people hated it.
Dude, I watched that movie again recently. Boy, is that movie so good.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed that one. Let's see. I'm pulling up my list here. Of course, Godzilla -1 is awesome. Talk to Me was great. Guardians 3 was great. Infinity Pool, I really liked that. I know a lot of people, that's kind of a hit or miss for people. Infinity Pool.
It's polarizing, but it's like, but then again, it's one of those films, love it or hate it.
Yeah. Creed 3 was really good.
That was good.
And Mutant Mayhem. I really like Mutant Mayhem.
I love Mutant Mayhem. Dude, that movie was some good stuff. My number one of last year was Past Lives, and I am, again, still sad I did not get anything for the Golden Globes. I'm sad I didn't get anything. But besides the point, a couple other my favorites, like I said earlier, the Iron Claw, Dumb Money, The Holdovers, Oppenheimer, Talk to Me. Talk to Me is up there as well.
Talk to Me. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but I should have. But yeah, that's
you
awesome.
Did. You mentioned it. Probably, I think, this one's probably because if I could consider Past Lives a foreign film, but that one's morally there's foreign language spoken in it, but there's also English in that one too. So probably the best foreign film of the year, Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, I'm behind on my foreign films this year. I need to watch those nominees from last night. I haven't watched. The only one I've seen was well, no, actually, it's not even a nominee. But I saw Godzilla -1. That's really the only foreign film of 2023 that I saw, I think, so far.
Yeah, I did watch. But yeah, Anatomy of a Fall it's 2.5 hours, but it's worth that much time.
Yeah,
it's really good. Wonka was great. see. Thanksgiving. We pointed that one out earlier.
Yep.
Awesome. John Wick 4 was great.
Yep.
Mission. Is it really surprised that Mission Impossible was awesome?
Yeah, I'm actually not as high on Mission Impossible as a lot of people. I thought it was good. It was good, but it just couldn't compete with Fallout for me.
I mean, it's kind of It's competing with Fallout for me, but again,
Right.
I get it. Again, Killers of the Flower Moon. Again, not surprising because it's fucking Scorsese.
Right.
Scream 6, pointed that one out. That one's great.
Yeah, Scream 6 was good.
Asteroid City was also I love Asteroid City. Wes Anderson's latest movie.
I didn't, and I think for this one, his style was too much for the movie. I think it was just all because he has the same style every movie, but in this movie, it just felt like he was just doing the style, and I didn't get as much from the rest of the movie as I normally would. And it's already kind of hard getting into his characters because of the way he does things. And Asteroid City didn't work for me. I love The French Dispatch, and of course Grand Budapest Hotel. Everybody seems to love, and Moonrise Kingdom. But for this time around, it just didn't work for me.
I get it. What's another one? I loved The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Even though Catching Fire is still the best Hunger Games movie, that one, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, is up there.
Okay. I'm glad to hear you say Catching Fire is the best one because I agree with that.
Good. I mean, it is. It's kind of precedent at this point. Like that's not even a question. But besides that, let's see. I think of other ones. Dungeons and Dragons was also
oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons was good. Yeah, I had fun with that one.
That one was good. The one that honestly sent me to a happy place, still a Michael J. Fox movie. The documentary about Michael J. Fox.
I don't think I watched that. No, matter of fact, I know I didn't watch that one.
Well, it's on Apple TV Plus. I watched it on that, and then, man, that one put me in a good mood. I'll just say that. It put me in a good mood. Joyride. Joyride's my favorite comedy of last year.
Joyride was funny. I like Joyride. I had a good time with Joyride. Quiz Lady was another good comedy. I really like
Quiz Lady.
Yeah.
I thought Bottoms was really good too.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bottoms yet. I haven't seen that one yet. What did you think of what's the other comedy? What did you think of No Hard Feelings?
I like that one a lot. That one was really, really funny.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one too. I know it seems to be kind of polarizing lately. I think everybody really liked it at first, and then we're kind of getting to that area where people are starting to go. It's starting
Because
to
a lot of people are just flat out calling the film creepy. Here's the thing. At least Andrew Barthelman's not 18 years younger, because that would be creepy.
Right.
He's only 13 years younger than Jennifer Lawrence is.
Right. And
so I don't find that creepy. Like,
I get it. It's like on that borderline area, and her being a female does soften it some. So I get what people are saying on that.
Yeah, but I
liked it though. Yeah.
But
I laughed. I had a good time with that.
Again, the beach scene. We're just gonna leave it there. But if I actually want to talk about most underrated comedy of last year for me, I know a lot of people would really disagree with me, because I know there's also one person on Instagram that posted his top 10 worst and had this, or not even that, top 30 worst, and had this one as his worst film of the year. And I'm like, bro, what? Little movie called Strays.
I didn't see that one yet, but I've heard some people really love it, and then I've heard some people really hate it.
I'm on the love side.
Okay.
I think that movie's hilarious. I I mean, it's simple in concept. Like the owner leaves his dog out in the city. He becomes a stray, and he decides to get revenge by wanting to go back to his house and bite his dick off. Like, he's like, seriously, he has to pay for what he did for the only thing he truly loves. I'm gonna bite his dick off. And I'm like, well, dog, you got it. Like, because it's like his owner is a dirtbag. Like all he does most of the time, he just wants to get rid of this dog, and basically also all the time he smokes a lot of weed. So,
Okay.
and he's played by Will Forte out of all people.
Oh wow,
But
I didn't realize that he was
but
in
the
that.
main dog, but the main two dogs are voiced by Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx. So, let's see. Also, Randall Park and Isla Fisher also play as a couple of the dogs.
Oh, so yeah, it's got a pretty good cast then.
Yeah. So there you go. And there's also the ending is so funny that it has one of my favorite needle drops of all time. Like, it's really funny. Fritsky, my dude, how is it going?
What's up?
Hope you're doing well, my dude. Yeah, that one. I'm trying to think of other good comedies, but they're just slipping my mind all of a sudden.
I find that lately I find a lot of movies that are not necessarily comedies to be the funnier movies. More dramedies. I tend to be funnier for me lately. I'm not sure what that says about me, or something. Yeah, or something that's not supposed to. Like a Cocaine Bear, I found that to be a funny comedy. You know, people hate it or whatever.
I was gonna point that one out. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a funny comedy.
That was in my top 20 of last year. Like that movie was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
One that I don't think gets enough attention, Renfield.
Yeah,
Renfield's a lot of fun.
Renfield's a lot of fun too, yeah.
And and everybody loves to complain that that the blood is CGI. It's a comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
They can get away with that. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. Like,
there's a lot of CGI blood, but yeah, it's a comedy, so I was fine with that.
Like, and plus it was obviously, like I said, it's a comedy. They can do it in the most comical way where physics are not even a part of it.
Oh yeah, they definitely took physics out of that movie.
Like example, like when he stomps the guy on top of a car, like it's just a big explosion of blood. Like he stomps the guy in the car and then just goes boom. and it's basically just raining blood. Like that I thought was funny. Like, oh yeah, he even rips the guy's face off. That was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
like seriously, like he just goes up and then just like put down the gun, rips his face off, and I'm just like,
Nicholas Hoult though, he's another underrated guy. He's always good in everything I've seen him in.
Good. Thank you for pointing him out. But can we agree who the show stealer was in that movie?
Oh well, we're talking about Nick Cage.
Of course, Nicolas Cage playing Dracula. Yeah. Like seriously, like even I think he definitely could have had a little bit more screen time. Like, but even though he's in it for a good portion, like of the movie, like he's in it for a pretty good portion, but not as much as I would have wanted. But besides that, because it's mostly because they had to throw in this subplot about the Lobo family, and which I will agree was unneeded. But Ben Schwartz was funny. Like, I'll just say that Ben Schwartz was funny.
Yeah. That movie was funny, period. So I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And with an understated Awkwafina too. She wasn't doing her shtick.
I mean, she had it from time to time, but wasn't doing it like so consistently.
Right.
I mean, Quiz Lady, pretty much the same thing.
Same thing. And if you haven't seen her in The Farewell, check out The Farewell. She was really good in that.
I fucking love that movie. I love The Farewell.
Yeah.
If you want to see a grown man cry, yeah, watch that movie. That movie will make me cry. Like, anyways, let me hit the comments. What are the most anticipated films for y'all in 2024? Dune Part 2, Love Lies Bleeding, Civil War, and Drive Away Dolls.
Yeah, we talked about those.
Yeah, so you can probably catch that part a little earlier. I understand that some of the polarizing results, but comedy is supposed to take risks and offend you. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's the point of comedy. Like, why do you think we got that train scene in Joyride? They wanted to at least take a risk.
Yeah.
Because not only do they stuff drugs in their clothes, Stephanie Shu gets a cocaine bag shoved up her ass.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, they're actually going that far. Oh my God. But just the remarks she makes from that is fucking hilarious. Like,
yeah, it's got to walk a tightrope. Comedy does though, because especially during this time, it's got to be, and yeah, it could be offensive, but then you don't want it to bleed over into mean spirited too often. So it's tough to do. It's tough.
I mean, there's comedies that definitely push boundaries, but then it's like they still kind of hold it back just a little bit.
Right.
Like I'll just say this with Bottoms, there is some jokes in that film where it's like it's kind of crazy that a big budget mainstream studio actually picked that movie up. Like,
okay.
Like it's crazy. Like, or even some of the, I mean, even though some of the jokes in Joyride are basically still this like normal raunch humor, it's still some of those jokes can get really, really over the line.
Oh yeah, they went for it. They went for it a lot. So and I appreciated that because yeah, it was hilarious.
Eat a big dick or a small one. But obviously, the one I would be referring to is the joke at the very beginning with that little racist kid.
Yeah.
And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Did Adele Lim write that in her script?
I wouldn't never know.
If she actually wrote that into her script, I'm gonna give her mad props for that, because I know that film was produced by Seth Rogen. Like, I know that for sure. Like, Seth Rogen produced that movie.
Yeah.
And when I look at it, I'm like, I can tell that Seth Rogen produced it.
Oh yeah.
Definitely got a lot of like Seth Rogen-ish humor. Like oh my God. But then also some of the stuff, like some gags you see in comedies you've seen before, like Slap Battle. That Slap Battle scene where Ashley Park vomits on Ronnie Chang.
Yeah.
Vomiting on her boss. Yeah. You've seen that before, but then again, though, it's still funny.
Yeah, it goes back to what we've been saying all night. Execution is key.
Yep. But the spoiler warning for anyone who has not seen Joyride, if you haven't, please cover your ears. The K-pop scene, like essentially when, oh my God, that scene, like when it actually shows the tattooed devil vagina. Oh my God. Yeah. Not only was I shocked, I was like, are you fucking joking? Like, are you kidding me? Like, it didn't bother me, but it was like, did they really just
wasn't
do
expecting it? Yeah, wasn't expecting it.
Oh my God. And plus, I love the cast of characters they got, like with Audrey, Kat, Lolo, and Deadeye. I love all four of them together. Like,
yeah. Deadeye, I found out was a stand-up comic. We talked about stand-ups earlier.
Oh yeah, Sabrina Wu is a stand-up comic.
Yeah, and I saw some of her stuff recently. It was pretty good, actually. She's on. She doesn't have a whole Netflix special. She's on one of those. I think the stand-ups. I think is what she's on.
Okay.
And she was pretty good.
But yeah, I mean, oh my god, Deadeye, did you just kill that chicken? Oh my god. Again, some of those jokes definitely push boundaries. I'll just say that. I'm not going to get too far into that then. But besides the point, Fritsky says, tonight I saw a woman under the influence for the first time. Great and astonishing film. I have never seen it. Never seen a woman under the influence.
I haven't seen that one either.
It sounds interesting based off of the title, but that's just something that never caught my radar.
I've heard it was a good movie. I just haven't had a chance to see it.
Yeah. But guys, I think we've been going for over 2 hours 20. I think we're going to call it a night here. So, Dell, thank you so much for being here tonight. This was a blast.
Absolutely.
And thank you to everybody in the chat that has come here tonight to join us and talk movies. Shout out Fritsky, Josh, Mike, all you awesome people. Thank you so much for being here. Dell, once again, you're awesome, dude. Let everybody know where they can find you, man.
You can find me at Dell on Movies on YouTube.
Oh,
Boxed. There we go.
And the mute button.
There we go. So yeah, Dell on Movies, YouTube, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter or X now is what we're calling
Twitter,
it.
damn it.
Yeah, it's just search for Dell on Movies for all those things. On my channel, I talk movies. We do some top 10. Movie swap is the big thing. I'm going to get Luke on that one of these days, where I have another movie lover on, and we just basically recommend each other a movie that the other person's never seen before, and see if we liked it or not. And later this week, I'm going to be on a couple of different streams, actually none of my own. I'm going to be on with Patrick of Half Cheater Will View on, and I'm sorry for looking down right now and not talking to you guys, but I'm trying to make sure I got my dates correct for you. Yeah, that's going to be on Thursday. I'm going to be on with Patrick, Half Cheater Will View, and then on Wednesday, actually the day before, I'm going to be on with Mega Mike. We talked about Mega Mike. We're going to be doing a DC EU ranking roundtable, so check that out.
Awesome. Sounds great, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, go check out Dell once again. He's a great guy. Subscribe to his channel. Once again, subscribe to me as well. Hit that thumbs up. All that good stuff. As for me, what you can expect, watch along probably tomorrow night for The Creator. So look forward to that. This week we also got The Beekeeper. And then I'm also going to be starting up a new series on the channel, what I watched over the week, as recommended to me by my buddy Jacob Hubbard. If he's watching this on the replay, shout out to you, buddy. And next Monday, speaking of which, he will more than likely be our next guest back on the show. So I'm very excited to have him back on. So anyways, guys, that'll about do it. Thank you everybody so much for coming in, chatting movies with us, all that good stuff. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.